Hey guys,
Hey, that's my job. What's up, Q?
what's up?
Not much, man. What's going on tonight? What we got going on here?
Just some Ram Charger brainstorming.
Yeah, a lot of brainstorming. Well, a lot of storming.
Yeah,
I don't know how much brains involved. Well, guys, we've had kind of a revelation here tonight. Um, Believe it or not, more things change, the more they stay the same, right?
mm-hmm.
What do you reckon the difference between the wheel mounting surfaces on an 85 Ram Charger versus a 2019 Charger?
Just a couple little things.
Like literally less than a quarter inch.
Yeah,
Very similar. So our whole build philosophy's kind of shifted. We're gonna have to run some massive spacers if we want an offset look. Which at first I thought I wanted to do,
yeah,
But Q, voice of logic, voice of reason, whatever. He kind of brought the point like once you flare everything out, it's really hard to bring it back in.
yeah,
It's kind of like getting old. Once it starts to come out, it's hard to get it back in. But if you start out with it in, it's really easy to make it wider.
yeah.
But what I've kind of been playing around with is, what if we didn't flare it out?
Right.
What would it look like kind of tucked? I mean, we're still going to be running like a 315 series, 315 40-20. Is it 45? I don't know.
40.
Anyway, huh?
It's a 40, but
Yeah, 315
40,
40 or 315 45 40 20.
Yeah,
That's decent meat for an 80s vehicle.
yeah,
That's a lot of meat.
yeah,
So we got to come to terms with a couple things here, right? Aerodynamically, it's a brick, right? So no matter how much horsepower we shove at it, the top end's still not going to be. Not only is the top end not going to be great, it's not going to feel great. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This thing's sweet spot. It's going to be the quarter mile, track days, launching off stoplights, right?
yeah,
And one advantage we have over the traditional Viper is we actually have some weight on the back end.
yeah,
So even though we're not going to have as wide a meat on the back end, we will be able to bite in and go, right?
yeah.
So what would y'all think if we told you that you can actually inset the wheels inside not modify the width,
Yeah.
keep the wheels at the factory mounting location with the independent rear suspension under there? What if I told you they would actually tuck?
Yeah.
You think they would?
I think they would.
But if they tuck, Q, we're not going to have any room for shocks.
Well, there's an idea for that.
What are you thinking?
Those usually shocks go like this.
Right?
I'm thinking, what if shocks go like this?
Oh, what if we build a little cantilever action with our air ride shocks?
Yeah.
Well, Q, do we have room for that?
We might.
We might. What's the factory frame height we're dealing with back there?
I don't remember.
29.5 inches to the top of the arch with the
Right.
leaf springs.
And what was the subframe? Was like 16 inches?
With this subframe, yeah, we're like 16 inches. So we've got a whole extra foot to play with.
Yeah.
What if we only lowered her like 8 inches? Still kept a decent ride height, have the air over.
Yeah.
And we had like 5 inches to play with underneath the tub to build our cantilever design off the rear subframe. You think it can be done?
It might be able to.
I
know a guy.
I might be able to be overthunk.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? What do you think? We get away from that whole body mount upper A-arm and we just build some elaborate adjustable strut towers and mount the A-arms off the side of that.
Yeah.
Have it where we can position and get a ride height where we want.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's probably an easier solution?
Yeah.
We'll just go back with factory parts and build our own towers, right?
Yeah.
Kind of leaning towards that, guys. But anyway, I mean, that all sounds good. But I tell you what looks good, and I didn't expect this. Like, I really thought I wanted, like, the 20 by 11 snowflakes, right? Like and I gotta be honest, I like they call it the brass monkey, but the bronze-ish looking Hellcat rims. If you'd have asked me 24 hours ago, I'd have told you that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I got to playing around today, and we rolled up these 5-spokes, man. The cool thing about these 5-spokes, they're like a real limited. They only come on 3 years worth of vehicles. And I recognize them. The reason I recognize them, my buddy Bob O'Crogley, He's got a 08 or 09 SRT Challenger.
Yeah.
With
also
the
has a smart car.
huh?
He also has
He has a smart car. He's got like a toaster too,
Yeah.
a Scion XB.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a big dude, got a fetish for small cars. It happens. Anyway, he's a pretty cool cat, regardless where his vehicle's taking. But anyway, I knew I recognized the rims. So they're special stamped, SRT, Alcoa Forge, whatnot. They're 5-spoke, 20-inch rim, 20 by 9. So we do give up a touch of width on that. The look, I mean, every classic muscle car, every hot rod has always had a generation with a sweeping 5-spoke, whether it be Kragers, whatever you want to call them. But I mean, I think we found our rims, guys. Maybe not these. These are a little rashed. They're not terrible, but we might just pick up a new set.
Yeah.
Q priced them out. Like, you can actually buy new OEM versions of these. I'm gonna say fairly reasonable.
Pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable. But anyway, it's not out of the picture, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of set these up, kind of digging how they look. It's really grown on me. And the hardest part about doing this kind of stuff is getting started, you know? And so when you sit down here by yourself looking at everything, man, a second set of eyes, fresh set of eyes, somebody walking in, like you're trying to put your vision together, and then they walk in and look at it, sometimes it all clicks, you know?
Yeah.
First thing Q said when he come in tonight was, man, those 5-spokes look really good under there. So we started playing with it. Originally, I had them offset about 4 inches wider. We have now fully tucked them. It's going to save me a ton of body work.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of wondering, what if we just freshen up the chrome and leave the pawpaw trim? Do all the modern paint we're talking about doing. Go ahead and do the roll paint in the back, no bumpers. Tuck it all, make it look nice. Still not opposed to a little bit of exposed tube, right? Like a little Kamaguchi, little Japanese look with the flared bumpers, you know?
Yeah.
But something to keep it Dodge, keep the wheel wells intact. But what's it going to look like when we park it? What's it going to look like when we air down? You think it'll look all right, Q?
I think it'll look pretty good.
Would y'all like to see? I'm going to assume you do. So let me walk up here. Let's trade spots, Q.
So what happens when you have a guy from California around? Everything gets lower.
Everything gets lower. Even Q. Q's from California. He's lower.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, look at this overthunk junk. I really should label these. Q, don't smash your hand. I don't know which button's which.
That's all right.
Not that one. I do have that unistrut in the way, so we can't really center the tire where it needs to be. I do apologize. Oh, too much.
No, that's good.
So let's let this settle out, guys. But theoretically,
I think you can go down a little bit more.
let's not get greedy, Q. Let's just say we do this right on the chassis, which I'm going to build it all. No springs, no shocks, no bags. We're building everything metal on metal. It's always easier to lift than to lower. So anyway, guys, that's the goal, is tucking all the way down on the rim. Now, obviously, we couldn't cruise down the interstate like that, but we could throw 15 pounds in the bags and cruise around the parade like that. That'd look pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We could probably wreak havoc in a Kmart parking lot like that.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of opportunities available. Anyway, guys, that's kind of where we're at. The wheel mounting surface thing kind of, I wasn't really expecting it to be exactly dead on. For someone that calls themselves overthunk junk, I do tend to kind of latch on to an ideal and run with it before I do all my homework. So you will experience that as we go through this. Anyway, on the interior, guys, we have a really pretty nice interior. The red interior, the maroon, whatever you want to call it. We're going to keep the factory dash. We're even going to keep the wood inlay. I will replace the gauge clusters with like Dakota Digital. We'll put a modern stereo head unit in it. We'll dress it up a little bit. We'll probably do like a classic car AC kit.
Yeah, vintage AC.
Vintage AC, yep. But we are going to do different, since I do have to do some floor pan work anyway. I'm probably going to raise the transmission up through here a little bit if need be. And I want to graft like a modern Charger center console wrapped up into the dash with the floor shift. And we're going to put a modern Charger paddle shift steering console in too. And then my buddies up there at Cleveland Performance also told me to do upholstery work. So I do my Challenger flip forward seats so you can get in the back. They're going to take the rear seats out of the same Challenger and take the upholstery and like the two bucket look and modify it onto my tilt forward Ram Charger rear seat. So when you hop in this thing, you're going to be hit with like 80s maroon plastic interior. I'll restore it. It'll be looking pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But like probably gray, because I'm not going to paint plastic. Like a gray center column, some black with gray cloth insert SRT, like black suede cloth insert, you know what I mean? And then all the way through, we'll get it all dressed up, leave as much wood as we can leave. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, the whole like point of this project, it's not going to be the baddest rig in the world. It's not going to be the fastest rig in the world. That's like, if we're looking for that, we're starting with the wrong platform, right? What we're playing with is nostalgia, and what I want to do, I'll tell you, the biggest inspiration was the Hellcat Durango.
Yeah.
It's like the pinnacle of Dodge's SUV SRT program, right? Like what they've done to date.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is I want to back all the way up to 1985. And I want to build a progression of the full-size SUV in an SRT format. So we're going with like the Viper and the Hellcat and the Scat Pack and the leg burners and the interior and just tie it all together and see what we get.
Yeah.
What do you think, Q?
I think it'll come out all right.
We're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's where we're at. That's what we're working on. We'll keep playing with it. Check in a bit.
See ya.